Complicated type of relationships in a database, and they're also one of the most common, almost as common as one-to-many relationships. So let's take a look now. So what is a many-to-many relationship? Well, a many-to-many relationship is where two tables can have many instances of each other. So if we take a look at our example here between products and orders table, these two tables actually share a many-to-many relationship. So products can appear in more than one order, so two separate customers can both order the same product. So let's say filter coffee, it can show up multiple times in the orders table because many people are ordering filter coffees. But at the same time, one order can contain multiple products. So if a customer came into our coffee store, they could order a filter coffee and a cappuccino, or as many products as they wanted. So these two tables share a many-to-many relationship. Now, how do we represent this relationship between these two tables? Actually, it's a little bit more complicated than one-to-many relationships. So obviously we don't want to contain any order information in our products table, we just want product information. But at the same time, if one order contain multiple products, we can't store this in the orders table either, because we don't know how many rows that each order is going to take up. So what we actually have to do is we have to introduce a third table. And this third table is known as a junction table. And here we've called it order details. And it contains a foreign key to the two other tables. So it contains the product ID as a foreign key, and it contains an order ID as a foreign key. And each row in the order details table represents an item of a particular order. So every time a customer comes into the store and places an order, that will be represented in one row in the orders table. But if they were to order multiple items, this would be represented as multiple rows in the order details table. So if a customer came in and ordered a filter coffee and a cappuccino, we would need to insert one row into the orders table with an order ID, but we would need to insert two rows into the order details table for each item ordered, so for the filter coffee and for the cappuccino. And each of these rows for the filter coffee and the cappuccino would contain the same order ID in the order details table. And we can see here that we have a one-to-many relationship between the products table and the order details table. So each row in the order details table can only be associated with one product, but obviously one product can turn up in multiple rows in the order details table. And we also have a one-to-many relationship between the orders table and the order details table. So each row in the order details table only represents one order, but obviously if a customer comes in and orders multiple products, then there'll be multiple rows in the order details table for that order. So this is how we represent many-to-many relationships in a database. We create a third table called a junction table, and the junction table has a one-to-many relationship between the other two tables. So this is a little bit more complicated than the one-to-many or the one-to-one relationship.